Okay, in the earlier class, we talked about EMF of a cell, terminal voltage, and internal resistance, right? So, if there we made a circuit there, this is a cell whose internal resistance is R, small r, and we have just made a plug key there, and it is connected to the external resistance R. So, now it is like this. And if the circuit is open, then if you connect it with a voltmeter, it shows the reading E. That is a voltage. The reading shown by voltage is the EMF of the cell. That means the maximum potential difference across the terminals of the cell when it is in a open circuit or when the current is not flowing in the circuit, that is EMF E, electromotive force, that is EMF E. And if the circuit is closed, and this will not be equal to E. And if you measure there, this V will be less than E, and this V we will be calling it as terminal voltage. And here the current flowing in the circuit is I, so throughout the circuit the current will be equal to I. So here, what is the voltage here? V is equal to, usually we will be calculating V is equal to IR. So here also the V is equal to I and smaller. So that much drop voltage will be there, or voltage drop will be there. So voltage drop will be IR. So this E will be reduced by IR. So V is equal to it is E minus IR. Okay. So V will be always equal less than E. And here we discussed about one more thing. Will always this V will be less than E? No. There is one case where V is greater than E. That is when the battery is in charging. This is when the battery is discharging. V is equal to E minus IR. When it is charging, V is equal to E plus IR. This is when battery is equal to when the battery is in charging, V is equal to E plus IR. Okay, right. Now after understanding this is just a recall of the earlier class. So there V is equal to E minus IR, isn't it? So what is V here? V is IR is equal to E minus IR. So E is equal to IR plus IR. So I into R plus R. So I is equal to E by R plus R. The current is given by total EMF by the total resistance. This you can use this in the circuit if you are having a battery with internal resistance R and EMF E. The current in the circuit is, if it is connected to external resistance R. In the circuit, if you are having a battery with EMF E with internal resistance R and having external resistance capital R, this is the same situation. This is the battery with EMF E and this is internal resistance R. If it is connected to external resistance R, then the current in the circuit is given by total EMF. What is the total EMF here? It is E by total resistance R plus R. Instead of saying it as total EMF, just you can say it as EMF, the maximum potential difference by cell. Like that we can find out the current in the resistance. Okay. So now, and one more thing here. So it is for finding the I, we can use this formula. Okay, right. Next we'll be going with Kirchhoff's laws. Kirchhoff's laws. Kirchhoff's. In some locally or regionally, in some places it will be pronounced as Kirchhoff's, but actually it should be as the Kirchhoff's. Okay, we also try to just go in a way of calling it as Kirchhoff's laws. Here we have two laws. One is of the rules, one is called as the junction rule, and another one is called as the loop rule. This is what we call our plus two or the plus one and plus two board. We will be calling this as junction rule or loop rule, but generally this will be called as, this is called as the current rule, and it is called as voltage law. Voltage law. And so this is also referred as Kirchhoff's voltage law, KVL. Okay. So current rule or junction rule both mean the same, and the other one is voltage law, Kirchhoff's voltage law or the loop rule. Okay. Okay. Now let us understand this Kirchhoff's laws. These are very easy and most very important and quite interesting also. Okay, if you understand it, you can feel it very easily, and you can feel interesting to solve the problems basing on this. First, let us talk about what is the necessity with these Kirchhoff's laws, that we have to understand. Otherwise, we don't find interest in learning such things. Already we talked about Ohm's law. This Ohm's law cannot be applied to complex circuits. Complex circuits. Suppose if it is simply a circuit and having some resistances and components means resistors or whatever it is, we'll be calling them as the components. Then V is equal to IR, apply that and do the problems and get the whatever we require, V or I or R or something else. For simple circuits, you can go with Ohm's law. For complex circuits, no, we cannot go with the Ohm's law. That's why we need a help, which makes us easier to solve the complex circuits, and those are your Kirchhoff's laws. These Kirchhoff's laws helps us to solve the complex circuits than to say it as more complex circuits. Okay. So I will make you to understand the laws easily, and unless you understand properly, you cannot go with the solving the numericals related with the complex circuits. Okay. So I'll make you to understand. Very simple. So here first let's go with this current rule or the junction rule. First let us understand the rule. Later we can frame the rules, statements or something else. Here the statements are not important, but the concept is important. Now we look at here junction. What is this junction? Junction means, where junction means whatever road junctions, where the two or three roads meet at a place, we will be calling it as junction. Similarly here, we are dealing about the electric current. Here we deal about the circuits, we deal about the wires, and where the two or more wires meet, that point we will be calling it as junction. Where two or more wires meet, we will be calling it as a junction. Okay. Now we understood what is a junction, and what does the rule say here? Suppose, let us take here. Now a wire is coming like this, and a junction is there with two or more wires here. This is a junction, and to this the current is coming as I1, and here the current is going as I2, and here the current is going as I3, and here the current is coming as I4, and here the current is coming as I5, and here it is going as I6. Let us think a situation like this. So here the different wires are there. In some wires the current is coming towards the junction, and for in some wires the current is moving away from the junction. Okay, and here what does the rule say means the incoming current is equal to outgoing current. Incoming current is the outgoing current. That's it. So let us see here what are the incoming currents, I1 and I4 and I6. These are incoming currents. So now we have to find out the algebraic sum of this incoming current. This is scalar quantity, so we can go with an algebraic method. So I1 plus I4 plus I6. These are incoming currents. And what are the outgoing currents? I2, I3, I5. This should be equal to I2, I3 and I5. That's it, simple. And at a junction, the total current should be 0. That means no charge is accumulated at the junction. That's it. Here we can understand this obeys law of conservation of charge. For example, you just take a conductor, and if 10 coulombs of current is entering into this cross section, how much charge leaves here? 10 coulombs. The same thing here, how much current is entering into the junction, that much current will leave through the junction. So incoming current is equal to the outgoing current. Very simple. Whatever the sentence, whatever the words you can use and just frame a sentence. Either you can say, at the junction, the total current is 0. No charge is accumulated at the junction. Okay. Total incoming current will be equal to total outgoing current. Whatever the words you use, the same thing. It is the junction rule, or we'll be calling it as the current rule. Okay. So this is regarding the junction rule. Now coming to voltage law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, we will be calling it as the KVL, or we will be calling here in the board examination, in your board you will be calling it as the loop rule. Here, how to just say in simple words. Here they use this loop means in a loop. In a loop means it is closed circuit. Loop mean here as the closed circuit. In a closed circuit, total voltage is 0. That means in a loop or closed circuit, sigma V is 0. That's it. First, later we will come to the statement. You yourself can explain the statement. Let us understand this with an example, and then you can, with some circuit, complex circuit, with the complex circuit and not simple circuit, complex circuit. Then you yourself can use your own words to frame the sentence, and whatever words you want to use, you can use there, right? Now, before going into a complex circuit, this is actually the rule. And I will give you some more rules which helps you to understand this rule. Yes, I will give my rules which help you to understand, to just follow those rules here. And here we follow a method, that means a direction, a conventional method. And if you want, you can, by understanding this, you can take your own methods. First understand the method what I am following, then you can go with your own methods here. Let's here. Suppose if let us take it as a rule 1. Suppose if it is like this, if a cell or a battery is like this, and if you are taking this direction, then here the potential is, you are moving towards the positive to negative, isn't it? So it is minus V. The potential is taken as minus V. Okay? Understand it carefully. So this is a cell And if you are if you are considering this direction from positive to negative, if you are considering direction, it is like this, then it is negative. And this is rule 1. And we will go with rule 2. If it is like this, and if you are considering this direction, you are moving from negative to positive. So this is, here the potential is taken as plus V. That is rule 2. And you coming to rule 3. Rule 3. In this rule 3, we can here, and here the resistance is there. In the circuit, the current will be going in this direction. And here also you consider direction, isn't it? In this direction, you have considered a direction. You have considered a direction in this or in this. Here also, if you consider the direction like this, the directions are same. The directions are same, so it is taken as minus V. That means IR, IR, so it is minus IR. So if it is same, the direction, whatever it is shown, it is same, then you should be taking it as minus IR. Here you might be confusing what is this considering direction, what is the direction given actually here. Look into this diagram once. So in this diagram, the arrow mark is shown like this, isn't it? The arrow mark. That means the current is already in the circuit, the current is moving in this direction. Now, usually when you are solving a complex circuit, you will be choosing a loop. That's why we are calling it as a loop rule. So this is a loop, right? Closed circuit. So in this we have this one loop, and this one another loop, and totally 3 loops are there. For suppose here I am considering this loop A, B, C, D. So in this loop A, B, C, D, A, in this loop, now I am considering this direction. Okay, that means I am going to move in this direction, solve my problem considering this as my direction. So now look here, let this be R1 and let this be R2. So I am starting. Okay, the current is I1 in this wire. The current is I1. So here it is I1 R2. Okay. So now what is the V value here? It is I1 R1. Which direction you are considering? In this direction. But actually the current is in this direction. So now I have to say about the rule 4. What it completed here. So now the current is moving in this direction and some resistance R is there. Now you have considering this direction. Now your direction is opposite. The direction whatever you have considered is opposite to the direction of the current. So your V will be taken as positive IR. Opposite P positive. Here it is same negative. Okay, so now these are the 4 rules. I will just stop with it, isn't it? So I will just complete it, this loop by making you understand these 4 rules, and again we will discuss about the 4 rules again. Look at now, this I am considering loop A, B, C, D, A. A, B, C, D, A. So now, according to the basic, whatever the starting we understood that sigma V is 0. That means total potentials in the circuit, the algebraic sum of the potentials in the circuit, the algebraic sum of the potential circuit should be 0. Right. So now A, B, C, D, A. In this loop here is a component and the current I1 is there in that. Here is a component, the current I1 is there in that. Here a battery is there whose terminal voltage is V1. And here R3 is there and then the current is I2 in that. So in this the current is I2. So now I want to apply my Kirchhoff's rule to this. Before applying the Kirchhoff's rule to this, you have to clearly keep in the mind my 4 rules. The first one is, if you are moving from positive to negative, you have to consider minus V. My rule 2, from negative to positive plus V. Negative N minus positive P plus. Okay. Now rule 3. If the current direction and your direction both are same, take it as minus V. If the current direction and your direction is opposite, P, opposite, and is P, so it is positive. Okay. So after understanding these 4 rules, this is the basic rule. Applying this to this, what you call it as this loop or mesh. So now, in this loop, you are starting from A, so the loop should end at the same thing, A, B, C, D. So A, so this is a loop. In this loop, I am starting from A, and I first found the component here, the resistance R2. And here, what is the voltage here? V is equal to IR. So resistance is R2 and current is I1. I1 R2. So now the current is in this direction, but I am moving in the opposite direction, opposite P. So it is plus. So this is completed. Now coming to the second component. Resistance is R1, the current I1 is in this direction, but I am moving in this direction, opposite P. So plus I2 R2. That also completed. Now coming to this, I am moving in this direction from positive to negative. So minus V1. Coming to B, B to C, no component. And again, coming to C to D, only one component is there. Current is I2 and resistance is R3. I2, R3. I am moving in the opposite, this is the direction of the current, but I am moving in the opposite direction. So positive, and between D and A, no component, so nothing to write in there. So these are the voltages in this loop, and their algebraic sum is 0. So using this loop, I got one expression. So for every loop, and similarly if you consider another loop, A, B, C, D completed, no, E, F. A, I will be just moving in this direction now. Okay? A, E, F, B, A. This is one more loop. Okay? Now I want to apply the Kirchhoff's rule, KVL. So what does KVL say? Sigma V is 0. So I am moving in this direction, A to E, no component, so nothing to be written there. And in E and F, the first I got V2. I am moving in this direction, so negative to positive plus at the cell. My rule, what does my rule say here? Negative to positive plus, so it is plus V2. And coming to R4, the I3 is in this direction, so in this direction. So you are also moving in this direction, same direction. What does my rule say here? Same direction, minus I3 R4. BF, no FB, no component, so no need to worry about that. Coming here, this is the component here, and I am moving in this direction. What does my rule say here? Negative to positive plus, so plus V1. And again, next component is there, it is R1, and the current is in the same direction, current same. My rule says that you should take it as negative, minus I1 R1. And coming to another component, the current is I1, the resistance is R2, moving in the same direction. My rule says it is negative, so minus I2 R2. These are the components and these are the voltages. Sigma V is 0, so it is equal to 0. So in second loop also you got the expressions, you got an equation. If you are able to write these equations, whatever you want to find for an unknown thing, For example, here they will be asking you at this resistance what is the current. There you cannot apply the Ohm's law. You said certainly if you find a loop or a mesh, you have to go with Kirchhoff's laws. Okay, so this is about a simple thing. I think you might have, if you just understand it or observe it carefully, this will be very, very, very interesting. If you understand these concepts and if you are applying these laws in the numericals, you just a mesh will be given. Sorry, a loop, mesh or a loop, both no problem. Nothing wrong in saying is that it is a mesh. If a mesh is given, and if it is asked to find something in that mesh, so you can select a how many in the circuit, how many loops or mesh are there, applying the KVL, okay, applying the junction rule or the current rule, you can easily and happily and interestingly you can find it. Okay, now just take a screenshot of this. Go through the video as many times as you can, but this concept is to be understood. Okay, see you in the next session.